everybody. Welcome back to another end of the month haul. I'm John Ward, and I'm here with
Jonathan Moody.
And Paul A. Presenza, otherwise known as the Moo Cow, with the monkey.
Moo.
with a monkey. There you go. Which monkey?
Continuity
Is it
monkey.
Mike? Is it Mickey? Is it Davy? Is it Peter?
No, it's continuity monkey. Come on, man.
Oh, okay.
Get with it.
I'm not in the continuity, I guess. So, let's go over how this thing works. Each of us have 20 DVDs. We will be dividing them up into 10 each, and then each of us also have 5 Blu Rays. We always start with the 5 Blu Rays, and then each of us will do 10 DVDs, and then that will circle back, and then we'll do 10 more DVDs, and there we go. We have a show.
And then we all get naked.
I'm always up for that. Right now I'm
Woohoo!
only wearing a shirt. So that's so if I stand up, you guys got a show.
All right.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I should take my shirt off right now, baby.
Well, if I stand up, then we'll have to talk about the elephant trunk in the room.
Ha ha ha.
All right, guys. Stop talking about being naked.
All right.
Moody's getting uncomfortable.
Street prisons is like street closed prisons is what I call them, or just closed prisons. So I'd much rather be walking around naked. Okay, so I'll start.
Sponsor us.
Oh, make a Pepsi.
Coke.
Yeah.
We're Coke drinkers.
All right. Oh God, I'm Pepsi.
Coke
You guys
Zero. Thank you.
You guys probably eat Twizzlers too. Not red vines.
He does not. I do, but we both eat Swedish fish.
Okay. All right. We'll find some common ground in there, I guess. All right. So my first Blu-ray is the Blu-rays of my first 10 are all Dollar Tree. I got to get rid of these things. And then the next stack is random stuff from different companies. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been to Dollar Tree in 3 weeks. If they're not selling movies anymore, I have no reason to go in, which is a massive mistake on their end. That's because I would go in and buy 20 movies. That's like what now, with it being a little more money, it's like $25 that they're getting.
Well,
Plus,
right now in our area, they're selling them for $2 for $1 to get rid of what they've got. And for what I understand, there's going to be more coming in. They just most of them want to just get rid of what they've got.
Yeah.
So you send it back. I mean, that's what most retail companies do. Whatever you
I'm not sure
don't sell, you send it back.
I don't know if they can send it back, but it's okay.
Well, you get credit, I guess. I mean, yeah, maybe that works differently, but I know from working in bookstores and all that is that you get credit for what doesn't sell.
I think Dollar Tree is like the last stop on the line before going into the, landfill.
It's very possible. So I don't know, maybe I'll check them out in a little bit. But yeah, I haven't been there. If I am there, normally I'll buy dish soap or laundry soap or something while I'm there because I'm there.
Yeah,
but now I don't.
The problem is when they buy them, they'll buy like 15 copies of the same goddamn movie, and that's been the problem.
Yeah. Then just get rid of them. Okay, so my first one is The Last Warrior.
Last Warrior. Is that Dollar Tree?
That's Dollar Tree.
It's a Game of Thrones meets Braveheart, apparently. This is how much I care about it. I haven't even taken it out of the package. That's how much Dollar Tree means to me these days. Not even out of the package yet. Second one.
Game of Braveheart.
There you go. This is one I think at least one of you have shown. Tribal. I think Paul showed this one. Maybe
Paul did. So I don't have that one.
Also still in its packaging.
Also got that on DVD, not Blu-ray.
Oh, you got it on DVD? Okay.
And then this one from Stephen Chow, director of Kung Fu Hustle, Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons.
Yep, I have that.
That looks fun.
Yeah,
I thought maybe it was like a travel log thing, and then I saw the Stephen Chow, and I'm like, oh, this is like a martial,
there's a series,
bride with white hair type of thing.
There's a series of those Journey movies, and they're all wackadoodle. So
okay,
that's awesome. I need to get my hands on that.
All right. Then this one is really fun. I think this is more of a Jonathan movie, but it is certified fresh, and that is The Art of Self-Defense.
I've heard of that.
It's very funny.
I've
it's
heard
good
of it too.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so he's good in it. Yeah, so I recommend this to Jonathan because I think he'd probably like it more than Paul.
I always got Michael Cera and Jesse Eisenberg mixed up
I
somehow.
did too. Yeah.
I just like because they're just so similar looking and they both play similar parts, Like I could see Michael
Doing
Cera
the
playing
same
Lex
thing over
Luthor.
and over.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. But I did love Michael Cera playing himself in This Is the End, which I just rewatched recently, where he's doing coke and he's like, having his dick sucked while,
Oh,
all this.
and they're like snorting coke off of his asshole.
Yeah, things like that, where he's just making fun
Okay
of
then.
himself and being like a complete total douchebag. He's blown coke into McLovin's face and shit like that, and just being a complete ass because that's not what you expect from Michael Cera. Like that's not who you think he really is or whatever. So
Yeah, I thought he was hilarious in that. And then my last one here is a remake of a James Caan movie, which I didn't think they would want to remake, but it's The Gambler.
God.
with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and I remember The Gambler with
I
James
have
Caan
that.
being boring. So, but I saw it when I was younger. So maybe if I rewatched the James Caan one, I would like it these days. But I just remember it being boring. So
That one or the original?
oh god, it's got Brie Larson in it. The original being boring. I've never seen this. It's still in its package.
As long as it's not Amber Turd, we're okay.
I don't know. Bree's not too far away from that.
So you've got your Dollar Tree movies still in their packaging for safe viewing pleasure.
Well, yeah, because it's a Brie Larson film, so I want to make sure it's in safekeeping. I may never take the wrapping off.
You may never watch the movie.
Yeah, because I just don't want to take the chance on scratching the disc.
I know I won't be watching the movie.
So that's my 5.
All right, it's Paul's turn up.
So I got a nice little mixture of good stuff and schwacky weird stuff for my Blu-rays. First one is a movie that we are definitely going to do probably the next episode we do for Docs That Rock. It's one of my absolute favorite ones of all time. It's probably the first movie that got me into documentaries way back in the day before I was even in high school. And it is Penelope Spheeris's great classic film, The Decline of Western Civilization. The very first
one of the best documentaries ever made. Have you seen the other two?
Hell yeah. I've seen them all. The first one is definitely the best one in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
You need to send me the Docs That Rock stuff so I can I can make I can put that together because we haven't even been able to put it out yet. The first one.
I know it's cool. There's no schedule on that, so
not yet.
But this is going to be the next
Moody
one.
and his
You haven't
schedules.
seen this yet, have you, Moody?
I have not. I've heard of it because I love Wayne's World, so Penelope Spheeris is one of my one of those.
Well, this is before she was known.
Yeah,
this is a documentary about punk rock.
Right.
Or just punk, actually. It's not rock, but punk.
And not even punk, just Western, LA punk at the time. So yeah, it's way cool. So next thing I got was one that I saw. I forget where the hell I got it, but it was fairly cheap, and it's one that I've always liked. And it is Band of Brothers on Blu-ray.
That's good.
All 10 episodes. So that's pretty damn sweet. Great HBO.
That was a good show. Yeah.
Third one I got is a movie I definitely went out and bought because I've been waiting for this to come out in Blu-ray. It finally came out in Blu-ray. And Moody, you and I were talking about that period when Disney was actually putting out decent adult-oriented kind of stuff. Not adult, but you know what I mean, other than children.
Like horror type stuff.
My favorite from that group, Dragon Slayer.
Nice.
Dragon Slayer is great.
It's a great film, underrated film. One of my favorites.
It's when Disney was good.
Right, exactly.
Well, you see, you guys both hate
movie.
Disney, but I grew up on Disney, so as a kid.
Have you seen this movie?
No, I've heard of it. I've never seen it. So.
Gotta see it.
It's around. They took chances at that point. Dragon Slayer was PG. Tron was PG. The Black Hole was PG.
This was scary stuff, and it was written dark. And
the
Black
dragon
Cauldron,
is awesome looking.
They did a lot of
great dragon
Well,
effects.
not Black Hole, because that was still G.
Caitlin Clark broke my heart in this film. Such a sweetie pie. Now we're going to the other side. And we're going to
Stinky
do some
side.
stinkers. This is one that I bought on one of the sales that Mr. Ward sent me stuff to, and I could not pass this up. And it is She-Borg, because I can't resist my part female, part cyborg kind of movies. There's so many of them out
Wait, you
there.
didn't have that?
No, not on Blu-ray.
I thought you did.
Not on Blu-ray. So
Really? We watched it on DVD when we did it? I don't think
yeah,
so. Or
yep.
maybe we watched my copy that's
We
on
watched
Blu-ray.
your copy.
Okay.
Because I didn't have this on Blu-ray.
All right. I mean, you know what you got, what you don't got. I'm just surprised because I remember watching. I thought we saw it on Blu-ray because it looked good.
And here's another one. You're gonna think that this is a certain movie, but it's not a certain movie. Rotten Tail. Not Peter Rottentail. This is just Rotten.
I got that.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I interviewed the director of that for one filmmaker. It also has a comic book too.
Brian Skiba.
Maybe he was the creator.
Yeah, with Corman.
Oh no,
Dominic Swain.
Who wrote it? Is that Hayes?
David C. Hayes.
David C. Hayes. That's who I interviewed. So yeah, David C. Hayes.
So yep, nothing like a Bad Bunny movie.
It's good. I liked it.
So I'm sure, is that going to be our next Easter movie?
Maybe, we'll see. So that's it. That's my 5.
All right. So my 5, and they're all. So once again, I'm going to explain this because I explain this every single time that I'm doing sort of a bunch of more boutique label ones for this this group of movies and whatnot. And I'm going to do the Blu-rays first and then the 4Ks last. But the first Blu-ray I've got from Scream Factory is Idle Hands, which we reviewed for I think it was 90s horror films. It was Anna Zaid and I reviewed this, and it's got Devin Sawa, Seth Green, Eldon Hansen, Vivica A. Fox, Jessica Alba,
who is a literal angel in that film. God, she is gorgeous in that movie.
She got to play an angel. Yeah, she was beautiful.
A literal angel. If angels existed, they would look like her in that movie.
And if you watch the Blu-ray Hunter episode haul from last time, I brought this up there on that one too. But also, I might have done that for this one as well, which is My Stepmother is an Alien, which I also did with Anna Zayden, and also has Seth Green in it. We did not know. That was such a random thing. Seth Green's been popping up in a bunch of my reviews lately. And I love it because Seth Green's actually a really good actor, in my opinion.
Yeah, that one did a whole lot better than the follow-up, My Stepmother's a Clam.
It's true. So then Dana Aykroyd, Kim Basinger, and your favorite little snuggle bunny, Allison Hannigan is in it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves Willow. So that's it's funny because it was Willow and Oz before there were Willow and Oz.
I know.
So really funny to kind of see that. I never thought about that. I don't even think I brought that up in the thing. But yeah, Willow and Oz were together beforehand. I guess they probably knew each other even.
Oh yeah, they had chemistry, there. Because they were friends. They
because she's also on Robot Chicken. So
yeah,
all those people that he's worked with are on Robot Chicken. So you can tell that he's probably like a really nice guy. And
he just says, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And they're like, "Sure, let's go." That's the cool thing. When you become that big, you can just be like, "Want to hang out and shoot something?"
That's the other thing is that there was a period where Seth Green was in every freaking movie that was made. Pretty much for like a decade.
Yeah, he's kind of stopped that, which is good. I mean, he's got a family, he's got a life, you know what I mean, outside of this, but he still does his Robot Chicken. I think that's still going on.
He's got a lot of talent. I'm very curious to see what his next phase is going to be if he becomes more of a serious actor doing darker roles or stuff like that. I'd like to see him expand beyond what he's kind of done.
Speaking of which, this will probably, I don't know, make John cringe, but I got Uncut Gems.
Because that's the Adam Sandler I like. That's when he does a serious role. He in Uncut Gems, he doesn't go, "When I slide down the rope. I feel funny. When he acts like a fucking man-child all the time. That's him being a good actor, a serious actor.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to
Believe
see.
it
I
when I
still
see
haven't
it.
seen it yet, but it is from Criterion and it's A24 and it's
Adam Sandler's on Criterion. Jesus.
twice. He's also on Punch Drunk Love, which is a P.T. Anderson movie. So
There's hope for Dustin Ferguson. That's all I got to say.
no,
wow.
there's not. Don't ever say that. But yeah, oh man, this is awesome. This is actually a pretty cool set too. Pretty happy having it. So it's Criterion, and it's all that stuff. So
Is it a Blu-ray or a 4K?
it's a 4K also, yeah.
Okay.
So it's my first of my 4Ks, and then that was a pain in the ass. All right, my next two 4Ks. So my next one is a Kino release. It's In the Heat of the Night.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
great
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you'll see this
classic.
again on the Blu-ray Hunter set haul. But
That's a classic.
yeah, but also, interestingly enough, so it's a double disc, right? And it's got the 4K and then it's got like a Blu-ray of They Call Me Mr. Tibbs
Mhm.
and The Organization, the sequels to In the Heat of the Night.
Never saw The Organization.
No, maybe you'll have to watch it sometime.
Yeah, might be cool.
I think it's
Yeah.
awesome that it just has all three films.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
that
that's
is
pretty-
rare. That's
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah, so it's got audio commentary and it's got those two movies and a making of featurette. I mean, Kino went all out on this. They had a sale,
Good for them.
and so I took part of it. I have to have it for my AFI 100. It's part of the AFI 100. And I'm reviewing all the AFI 100 starting from
Notice this
100.
has to.
Well, I mean, I have to.
I was just thinking the same thing. My grandmother used to say that to me all the time. John, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be like,
don't.
well, I have to breathe.
No, it's true.
She's
All
like,
right.
you smart ass.
So last but not least, definitely not least, is my favorite of the whole thing, and I brought this up on the last Blu-ray Hunter haul, but it is Sidekicks
Oh,
4K. Chuck Norris and Jonathan Brandis, Joe Piscopo. I mean, it's just got Bo Bridges, Mako. What a cast, and it was fun little Karate Kid, no retreat, no surrender style, thing of and then was it they were talking about how like a year later Hollywood puts out, and this was not a Hollywood movie, by the way. This was produced independently by a studio, or by not a studio, but by producer investors. And it was a year later, Hollywood made a little movie called Last Action Hero. A little similar of a movie, a guy, a kid infatuated with an action star. Then
But no Robert Zadar?
I don't think so, not in this one. But yeah, it was fun. It had, it was comedic, and I rewatched it and I was like, I just couldn't stop watching it. Like, it's that great of a movie. So, all right. So, Sean, your first 10.
Did you call me Siobhan?
Siobhan. No, I did not. But
You
John.
say Siobhan, your first 10?
John, your first time. But all right.
That's your first.
Whatever you want to be called.
Dead
John.
name, sir. Do not call me that. That's my dead name. I'm now John, not Siobhan. All right. So all of these are Dollar Tree, and we'll start with one of my favorite actors, actually, and one of my favorite directors. You guys may go, what? But I'm sorry, he is, and his dad is also, and that is Mario Van Peebles in A Clear Shot.
And you told us like he's your favorite before, so I'm not surprised.
One of, yeah, yeah. So I think he's incredibly underrated for both. It's not his fault that he came back to life in Jaws: The Revenge.
It's not his fault that he made the movie Solo, is it?
He just starred in it. He was an actor. He didn't direct it or anything.
I think he directed it.
I don't think so. Not Solo.
I think so, but I could be wrong.
If he did, I mean, kind of good for him because it's a studio film.
I'm looking that up real quick. Mario Van Peebles and William Sadler directed. Oh, you're right. Fuck, I thought he did for some reason.
No.
Norberto Barba.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. So, and my next one is a documentary, since I enjoyed Ford versus Ferrari. I picked this up, which is the Ferrari documentary.
Nice.
So it's Ferrari Race to Immortality. So, and I think it's all about the history of that. It's one of those ones that's like written half in Spanish and half in English. Same thing with the back. So, but I figured why not? Then we have, I think one of you guys probably, I think Paul did this one, showed it, the Marshall.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
With its all-star. It's Robert Carradine, and it's funny. That's not Robert Carradine.
I know.
That's not Robert Carradine. That's not Robert Carradine. That's not Robert Carradine. That's not Robert Carradine. Oh, there he is.
Like a little small.
Got the name though. The
Yeah,
Magic
so, yeah.
Carradine name.
It's like, wow, okay. Next one is with Zach Galifianakis, and that's Visionaries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
Never seen it, but I mean, I like Between Two Ferns, so I picked it up. If you haven't seen Between Two Ferns, you should. It's a very funny show.
I do like Zach. He's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like him in The Hangover.
I have problems with him in The Hangover only because he just gets worse. Well, I could go into a whole Hangover thing. It's my favorite trilogy of everything, but it's I have major issues with it. I thought of doing a whole video about it.
You should.
Yeah, I got a problem, but I think they did some wrong stuff. Then the next one is with Paul Walker and Lawrence Fishburne, and I heard in this film Paul Walker is just on fire, and that is The Death and Life of Bobby Z.
I've heard of that, yeah. And I miss Paul, man. Like, seriously, he was...
Gosh, I was going to say, was that a Freudian slip? Didn't he die in a car crash and was on fire?
It was not a Freudian slip.
Oh, dear. Too soon.
In the same way that the kid from Sidekicks wouldn't do a sequel more than A Hole in the Head.
Mr. Rick is not amused with our discussion here.
It's got morbid, man.
The next one is Adrian Brody and Penelope Cruz, The Matador's Mistress.
Okay, yeah. I keep seeing that at the dollar store. I keep passing it by.
I picked it up because of them. I figured, why not?
Who? Penelope Cruz and who?
Adrian Brody.
Brody.
And then we got Countdown.
Oh, yeah. I saw that in the theater, and it took one of my ideas, and I was fucking pissed.
Well, do it, because this was awful.
Well, no,
I remember it being horrible.
My idea was similar, and it was an app, and it's actually still gonna get made because it's different enough. Hopefully it gets made.
Well, then don't tell it.
Yeah. Oh, it's already like in pre-production supposedly, so I have no idea if it's gonna get made or not. You know, I just haven't heard.
What, your film is in pre-production?
It's not it's something I wrote, and the director hasn't done anything with it because she has 80 other projects she has in production, pre-production right now. So I have no idea if she'll ever.
Is this the one with the all midget cast?
Yes.
That's awesome. Are they apps? Like all the midgets apps? Actually, they're not midgets. They're little people.
Little people. You can't say that anymore, Paul.
Little people.
Sorry, I can say whatever the hell I want. Damn it.
It's a free country.
Nah.
And then there's
doesn't feel like it anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just
Freedom
saying.
isn't free, I guess, right? I'd like to know what liberties were taken away, Mr. Libertarian. This one I got because Dragon Day. I'm like, oh, it's a film with dragons. Maybe it's like that Rain of Fire. And then I read down here, the hack is the attack. So it's like, oh, it's about computer hacking.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I've got it. I've been wanting to
what?
watch.
Wait, what?
I know it's gonna be
there's no
crappy,
dragons?
No, out of work, NSA engineer finds his family stuck in a small mountain town. During a cyber attack that destroys our country as we know it. So,
Well, it's cyber attack then.
Maybe it should have been Dragon, Draggin.
Dragging.
Dragging
Dragging
Day. And now we're going for ultimate cheese. This is the only thing that I ever wanted Donald Trump to ever do, and that was to create Space Force.
Space Force.
Space Force Battlefront.
Battlefront. So they're
Wait.
actually, so there's something to actually fight. Is that what they're saying?
Well, it is set 250 years into the future.
Okay.
And it is realistic, hard science fiction film that follows the first crew of astronauts into deep space.
I see.
Wait, what?
Hmm?
Okay. This is interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm only reading like the first sentence. It'd take too long.
It seems cheesy though.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe for reviews after midnight one day. And then my last one is Burning Kiss.
Burning Kiss. So
I
is
think
that
one of
when
you
you
read
have
this
like
too.
herpes or something?
Oh,
It's possible because this guy does have like a mask over his head, so maybe he's embarrassed about the herpes.
Normally I'm the guy that goes there, not you, Moody.
Yeah,
Well, that's the
leave
first
herpes
thought I
jokes
had
to
was
Paul.
a burning kiss. Just sounded like herpes to me.
I'll fall into a burning kiss of fire.
In this surrealistic noir. So I guess this is like
It's a
like
noir
a new
film.
What is it? Surrealistic noir.
I don't know what that means.
Is it like a whole new like genre?
I don't know. Or just made up for that movie.
Possibly.
Oh, like
And that's-
Gaspar Noé's Into the Void, that kind of a thing.
Well, from Terminator, tech noir became a thing. The name of the dance club that they go to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's like a thing. So people call things like tech whatever or something noir a lot of times because of that movie. So
Cool.
Even though noir obviously came way before, Humphrey Bogart and all that, but more for science fiction and stuff, that's where they got it. Okay, that's my 10.
All right. Well, I still got a bunch of Dollar Tree crap to wade through. So my first group of 10 is mainly going to be that. Starting with a movie with Aaron Paul called Wreckage.
Wreckage.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a Phase 4 film, and it's written and directed by John Asher. Don't know him.
Okay.
Phase 4 does put a lot of stuff out on
They do.
Dollar Tree.
Next one, if you can guess what this movie is kind of ripping
About?
off. It's called Rings.
Oh, it's the sequel to Ring.
I am one of the few people who really liked Rings. I have it on Blu-ray. It's
I haven't
actually
seen it yet.
there's a short called Rings, which it's based on, and the short is really good too.
Okay.
I
Now
enjoyed
I
it.
have a vein of Wild Eye movies because they
Nice.
dump a whole bunch of stuff at Dollar Tree. First one we have The Zombie Apocalypse in Apartment 14F,
I got that.
which there's no way in hell I could pass up a movie that has that title. I mean, come on.
That is a long ass title.
It's a long ass title for a zombie movie, but it looks like it would be some kind of cheesy fun. Next, we have another Wild Eye, Grave of the Living Dead.
Got that one.
Nice.
Okay. Next, we have a Wild Eye critter movie, Blood Claws.
Dustin Ferguson
And
movie.
look
There
who
you
directed
go.
that.
There's
Yep.
your buddy, Dustin Ferguson.
Why did you buy a Dustin Ferguson movie?
Because it was a buck.
I own 2 copies of that. I own the
Ugh.
original one that came out and the Wild Eye.
Wow.
I don't know,
Next.
man. You can't.
You can make fun of us and criticize us as much as you want for Dustin Ferguson, but yet you own movies from like Lifetime, Hallmark, so I don't think that you can
I
say
would
much
prefer
for
that
me.
shit
Collect
over anything Dustin Ferguson makes.
I collect crap, so this is perfect for me.
Yeah.
Next one we have is Doll Killer. with
Also, I believe, isn't that
Dustin
also him?
Ferguson. Yep.
I think I have that one too. Yeah, I think I did the
All right.
99-cent thing on that.
Last in the Wild Eye is not a Dustin Ferguson movie, but it is Jesus, I Was Evil.
Oh, I don't have that.
I've heard of it, like in the Wild Eye sales and stuff. I've seen it.
Okay, the next 3 are just random ass Dollar Tree things. First one is a 4 film collector, and it is Kraken, Tentacles of the Deep, Howling 4, the original Nightmare, which is bad, Night Shadow, and Raging Sharks, which I think I have another.
That's a good collection. And
I
Howling
watched
4 is
Raging
one of my
Sharks.
favorite Howling movies. I love Howling 4. It's from the director of The Incubus that I just watched the other night.
I mean, everybody has their own different takes on stuff, but
it's closer to the book than The Howling is, actually. That's why it's called The Original Nightmare, is because it's based off the book.
Raging Sharks is bad, and I was surprised because I thought it was going to be a lot more fun than it was, and it was.
They weren't raging.
No, it was. Mostly it took place in a was it underground? What is it, submarine kind of thing? And it's mostly Cora Nemec and Vanessa Angel dealing with some guy who wants to kill them. So the sharks are barely in it, as much as like
barely
more...
in it sharks.
Yeah, that's a title in itself. Barely in it sharks.
Next we have a twofer, a movie that I had never heard of before with Katherine Heigl called Descendant, and it comes with a bonus movie called Roman with Kristen Bell, whom I adore.
Oh, yep. That's done by the Lucky McKee, I believe.
Yep. You got Kristen Bell. Oh my God.
Yeah, Lucky McKee's lucky.
And then finally, we have one of poor Robert Duvall's, stinky indie films, Assassination Tango.
Yeah, I got that one too.
So that's my first 10.
Well, that's MGM. I don't know how independent that is, but it's MGM.
Yeah, that's true. United Artists.
All right.
Is it United Artists or is it MGM?
Actually, Robert Duvall written and directed. I didn't know that. Interesting.
All right. So my first 10, I'm going to start out with a 4-pack. I told John about this. This might be in his haul as well. I don't know. But it is the Feeding the Masses 4-pack.
Nice.
That's a good 4-pack. It is not in my haul, at least not this month.
None this month. So, which is good because it'll be on another month. So,
yeah, I just
got
to get
4 fearsome films. It's Necroville, Splatter Disco, Feeding the Masses, and Creature from the Hillbilly Lagoon.
Oh my God, that sounds like a winner.
Yeah,
that's mostly why I wanted it, was because of that one.
That title alone is just well worth
seriously
having. And that's mainly Richard Griffin did all those. He also did the None of That and a bunch of other ones that are out. Then the next one is another indigent, because every month I'm gonna have an indigent film, and it is 10 Tiny Love Stories. Now it is interesting because it's 10 women who do monologues, right? And about the men they remember the most, the man who loved them, the man who left them, the man who wasn't enough. So different love stories, that and the women are, and you're gonna love this, Paul, and maybe John too, Kathy Baker, Lisa Gay Hamilton, Debbie Mazur, Radha Mitchell, Elizabeth Pina, Rebecca Tilney, Susan Traylor, Deborah Unger, Kimberly Williams, and Alicia Witt. So
I love Alicia Witt, and I miss Elizabeth Pena. The world hasn't been the same since she passed away.
Yeah, but it's got great cast. I forgot who directed it. Who directed the movie? Rodrigo Garcia. So
and Radha Mitchell, she was like the it girl for like a hot minute, and then just
kind of disappeared. Kimberly Williams has been in a lot of stuff too. So.
Yeah, she's cool.
So great cast, and it's just them doing monologues from what I know of. And so that's interesting.
Is it from their vaginas? Do they do monologues from their vaginas?
They don't do.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised this wasn't like a teen-oriented thing. You know what I mean? Where it's a bunch of teenage girls talking about that kind of shit.
No, it's all
what do they
older
know?
women. Yeah, it's all older women talking about love.
Usually what they do is they usually do it because that's who's got the money.
All right. So next is a movie starring what's his name? Jesse Bradford, I want to say. Jesse Bradford, Mia Kirshner, David Krumholtz,
Yeah,
Maria Ribisi, and Florence Stanley and Adam Goldberg. And it's called According to Spencer. And I've seen this, and it's actually pretty funny.
I had such a thing for Mia Kirshner when she first came out.
She is
Yeah.
hot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Another cool, fun movie I got. The cover is terrible. I got it from eBay, and I did not realize the cover was so fucked up. But you know, whatever. It is a movie called I Murders. If you can kind of see. That's
Don't know that one.
But it's got William Forsythe, Tony Todd, Terry Colombino, Charles Durning, Margaret Collin, Frank Grillo, Gabrielle Anwar, and Billy D. Williams, and somebody named Wilson Jermaine Hurd. Yeah, so
I got to run off for 2 seconds. Hang on.
okay,
Keep going. Keep going.
No, I'm not gonna keep going. It's like he doesn't want to hear my shit.
These things should be taken care of before we start.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't think he's doing anything.
Probably peeing.
Should I pause this right now?
Unless you're gonna edit it.
Well, you're right.
I'm back.
Oh, never mind. We didn't need to pause.
Okay. No, I had a tiny mistake that I realized I just made and had the wrong movie. So I'm good for the next group.
Okay. And then movie that stars, oh god, good god, huge cast too. Just can't find. Okay. Judy Greer, Jeremy Sisto, Chris James, Christine Lakin, Nicole Tom, Matt Kiesler, Monette Mazer, Pat Healy, and Eric Michael Cole. It is written and directed by Christopher James, and it's a movie called In Memory of My Father. So it is I've been wanting this for a while because I remember back in the day I was going through and I still am. I'm buying a bunch of Jeremy Sisto movies, but I went through a phase where I was just watching a bunch of them, and that movie came out and it's really well done and very dramatic. And it's got some comedic parts to it. And then next is it's called Jack and Jill, but it's not the Jack and Jill from Adam Sandler. Jack and Jill.
Thank God, one of the worst movies ever made.
Well, this may be up there too. This is the
I think I would probably rather watch that.
Is that a Wild
this
Eye?
is the ITN slash what's this guy's name? The guy who produced Scott Jeffrey. He does a lot of he produced the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. He does a lot of the ones in UK, ones that Paul generally trashes every time he watches the movies. Like there was a Dinosaur Hotel movie.
Oh god, that was so bad.
We did one that we couldn't review. It was a doll movie that we couldn't review because we knew people involved and it did not. Our review was not nice. And we were like, no, we can't put that out because we just don't want people to hate us,
Hearts would have been broken.
Yeah, hearts would have been broken. So we decided not to. But Jack and Jill is one of them that I've wanted to interview Scott, but he's honestly so fucking busy making movies every day. Like he's living the dream, producing low budget indie films and getting paid to do it every day of his life. So good for him. And then next is a Criterion film that I got on DVD only because there is no Blu-ray of this yet. And if it comes to Blu-ray at some point, which I imagine it will at some point, maybe 4K, then I will buy it. But I don't even think it needs a Blu-ray, but it's the movie Kicking and Screaming by Noah Baumbach.
Yeah.
That's a good film. Noah Baumbach is awesome.
Produced by Jason Blum before he became, Blumhouse. So
he talks a lot about that film. I watched an interview with him, and I believe he said that's kind of the film that made him.
Right.
I didn't even realize that was out in Criterion.
Yeah, it's available on DVD and stuff, and I bought it on eBay. It's a great cast and great, great whatever. Next is a really low budget, but produced by or put out by MGM. So I'm surprised about that. But it's a movie called Sex and the Teenage Mind.
No,
Yes,
nothing about
Paul would
that.
have no interest in it because it's teenagers. But it does have let's see, J. Michael Ferguson, Allison Lang, um, Michael Ray Bauer from Salute Your Shorts, D. Wallace Stone, Richard Karn, and Danica McKellar. So, and it sounds like it's came out of that thing. So there we go.
That tells you how old it is. D. Wallace Stone.
Yeah, right. She doesn't go by Stone anymore.
No.
This is I think 2002. I want to say 2005. It says
None of those teenagers are teenagers.
No, they are not teenagers.
No, now they have teenagers.
Now they probably do.
The teenagers have teenagers.
They were probably not teenagers when they were playing teenagers. So
probably not.
The way it usually works.
Yeah. Next is a huge cast too, and I watched this recently and absolutely love it. It's really good. And it stars John Abrams, Amy Adams, Roger Avery, Xander Berkeley, Ethan Embry, Adam Garcia, Lauren German, Colin Hanks, Marnette Patterson, Melissa Sage Miller, Aaron Stanford, Mina Savari, and James Vanderbeek. And it's a film called Standing Still. Look at that cast.
I know of it.
Yeah, that's
I've never seen it.
I
love me some Amy Adams.
I promoted it on my Facebook one day, and I forgot I was friends with the director. And I promoted it saying I watched this and I had a blast watching it, blah, blah, blah. And, oh no, maybe I did tag him in it or something, but he said he shared it and said, this man has good taste. So
there you go.
I love that. Matthew Cole Weiss. Real quick, I knew of him because he had done a movie with like a short film called Mean People Suck, starring like Dominique Swain and some other people. And I remember seeing that movie going, this is really good. And if I can find that, it's going to go on Short Film Saturday at some point because it was really, well done. And Dominic Swain, woo, huge crush on her.
Monkeys suck.
Yeah. And last but not least of this first 10 is Transylvania. It's the third in the Dorm Days trilogy, and written and directed by produced and directed by David Hillenbrand and Scott Hillenbrand, and with a screenplay by Patrick Casey and Warren Miller. So the guys who did Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, and
Hey, Stop Stabbing Me.
Hey, Stop Stabbing Me, but they also did the movie that John loves so much, the Santa Claus Violent Night movie.
Yeah, whatever.
He was not a big fan of that movie.
No.
But I mean, I don't, maybe Paul will be, maybe he wouldn't, anyway.
We'll
John, you're up for your last 10.
All right, so this is all random stuff from different places.
Yeah, Siobhan.
That is my dead name.
All right, I better stop saying that.
Yeah. First one, I've been collecting Ouija films, and so Ouija Room.
Got it.
Ouija Room. I have that.
Yeah. In fact,
it's in your Paul.
Oh, it's that Hendrik
Henry Couteau. Yeah, he says he's got it. I just realized that. Look, you guys both have it, and I don't.
I sent in this.
No, put your pictures up again. Some more.
Yeah, I sent it. I got this on eBay, and it came, but it came without the disc, so that's why it's not in my collection.
Oh fuck!
This is actually my third try on this. The first one came, and the entire jacket in it was water damaged all around. It was all fucked up, and I'm like, "Why are you selling this?" And I went back and I looked, and it didn't say anything about being damaged, but it said you can't return it. And then the second time I got it, there were stickers all over it because the person just used like the poster and not the actual picture.
Oh,
so I'm like, fuck, okay, I'm not gonna, and it would cost me more to send it back than it would to just keep it. Third time, finally, and I got it for a film that's probably crap anyways. So but yeah, I didn't.
Damn, that cost you a lot of money then.
Yeah, luckily I kept buying it really cheap. So
Right. So if you buy it for $5, but you buy it for $5 three times,
yes,
that's $15 right there just for one movie.
I know. That's why I'm just letting that one slide. I'm just letting it go because sometimes you just got to let it go.
So you're buying a new one though? You're buying a new copy, Paul?
No, but if I see one out there, I'll grab it.
This one is one that I saw trailers for and I had an interest in, and then I think I saw it at Walmart for really cheap, and I picked it up. It's The Djinn.
Mm-hmm.
The Djinn.
And
I like gins.
Certified fresh.
Especially if they're just gins.
I like gin the drink.
That's a different kind of gin.
But this looked kind of cool for the trailers, and it was cheap.
You get quite a workout at the gin.
All right, we all of us will be here this week. Remember to tip all three of our waitresses.
Yeah, tip your waiters and waitresses.
Yeah. The next one is an Australian End of the World movie, and I went to go see this with a friend of mine when it came out in the theaters. And the opening shot after the credits is the camera's looking straight down on a bed, and a guy is completely naked with his dong hanging out. And my friend looks at me and goes, "If this is what I think it is, I'm going to kick the shit out of you." And it was not. It was, I don't know why he had to be naked at the beginning of the movie, but it's The Quiet Earth.
Oh, The Quiet Earth. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've never heard of that movie.
It is a great end of the world movie. It deals with like a love triangle, and it's really good. But still, I don't know why the guy's completely naked at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I believe I have digital copy of that. I just haven't sat down and watched it yet, but I know that by reputation, it's being kind of a crazy movie.
Yeah, it's interesting because guy's alone. He meets a girl, and then he's kind of a geeky guy, and then they meet the good-looking guy, and this kind of triangle type thing happens.
Oh, like kind of apocalypse, kind of like Into the World apocalypse.
Yeah, it's also like Last Woman on Earth from Roger Corman. Yeah, type of thing. So yeah, it's really good though. Okay. This one I was really happy to find, and I only paid like $2 for it at Zio Records, and it's Wings Hauser and Paul Robert Zadar.
Ooh, Blood Money.
Nice.
Blood Money.
Nice.
That sounds like fun.
For like $2, I could not resist picking this up because I love Wings Hauser.
I have to look that up.
Those are two 80s B movies icons.
I would love to work with Wings Hauser and if not Cole Hauser too, because I'm a big Cole Hauser fan. I don't know why he never did bigger, but special features. Explain to me how these are special features. Digitally remastered, Dolby Digital English 2.0 stereo, full screen presentation, interactive menus, and scene selection. Not even a trailer.
Fancy
Schmancy.
Yeah, it does say Universal down here at the bottom. But yeah, very. Oh, and there's Robert Zadar with like a rocket launcher or something.
As he always is shown.
Yeah, as he should be.
Yep. The next one is once again one of my favorite directors who I think goes so. This guy gets screwed so much and not in a good way. I really like him.
Wait, how do you get screwed in a good way?
Well,
it's been a while.
Moody, how do you not know getting screwed in a good way?
I don't know, man.
But recently he's been liking my posts about his films, so I'm very happy about that. And he said thank you. I did tell him I liked his movies, and he said thanks. I would give anything to have him on one filmmaker, and that is Uwe Boll.
Oh God.
Rage, and this is the documentary.
This
Rage
is not. Bull. Yeah. Oh, is that going to be on Docs That Rock, Paul?
I don't have a copy. Yeah, I don't know.
I love his films. I don't care what anybody says.
I haven't even gotten to do any of his stinkers on our show. But
no,
I don't know how you could say that. His stuff is so. This is the thing that they advertise this whole thing on is the boxing match. That's like 10 minutes of the movie.
Right.
It's a whole documentary on him.
Yeah.
From when he was a kid, all the way up to him trying to get In the Name of the King released. And the boxing thing is just like 10, maybe 15 minutes. And that's about it. And the film is, I think it's 90 minutes. I think this is a great documentary. And I felt sorry for him. because all he talks about, because he's got like a degrees and everything. This guy isn't stupid. He's been to really good film schools and he's like a scholar and all that stuff. And people just think he's just like this goon. And it's just like,
because he makes movies based on video games.
But I think they're good. And if I haven't played the video game, what does it matter? So I've never played well, he didn't make Resident Evil, but House of the Dead. I've never played House of the Dead. Well, I have arcade game a couple of times and I lost because I died pretty fast. But I don't know. I love this thing. I think it's really really good. So
there you go.
And here we go with another one from him, produced by Alone in the Dark 2, which once again everybody says is awful. It has nothing to do with the first movie.
Still Alone in the Dark.
But it's
still Alone in the Dark.
I liked it. I still think it was pretty good. They could have done, because this was made as Alone in the Dark 2. Was it like a retitled movie? They could have put in one reference. Do one reference. Oh yeah, 2 years ago there was a cop. That type of thing. Just do a throwaway line to connect it. They don't, which is stupid, I think. And then, speaking of In the Name of the King, In the Name of the King collection.
Oh wow.
1, 2, and 3.
Ugh. Could never
all together.
Dolph Lundgren is in like one of them at least. Not 2.
I don't think Jason Statham.
He's in part.
Dolph Lundgren. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Van Damme. Yeah, he's in the second one.
Yeah,
because there he is. Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, so he's the star of the second one, star of the third one. And the nice thing is they're all on their separate discs. So
at least it has like that, not just one disc.
Yeah. I love his films. I don't give a shit. I think he's awesome.
Yui Bolson.
I am. I will defend him. The next one is a triple feature starring the GOAT, Nicolas Cage.
Yay.
So Joe, Lord of War, and The Frozen Ground with John Cusack.
Nice.
Whatever happened to John Cusack?
I have The Frozen Ground.
John Cusack's still around, but he's making really crappy, like,
he's making movies like this.
Yeah.
He's not out there.
Nick Cage is too. I mean,
but he was doing that because he had to pay back the government. Now that he doesn't, maybe
that's what John is doing, paying back the government. Maybe.
Normally you hear about that type of stuff, but and plus Cage made some great movies while doing that. Like Pig, Mandy. I mean, Color of Space. He's made some really good movies.
But that's because he made a persona of himself, from back in the day, with being in like movies like Vampire's Kiss, where he's very over the top, eccentric and wacky. And John Cusack really plays everything straight. Like I've never seen him play wacky.
I would love to, though.
That's true.
I would. I would love to see him do a Nicolas Cage type movie, one of the wacky things, and see if he could do it.
Maybe that's why they got him for Frozen Ground, because they're like, well, shit, maybe Cusack can't do Nicolas Cage, so they get Nicolas Cage to be with him to do Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Only Nicolas Cage can do Nicolas Cage.
Only Nicolas Cage can do it.
Except Abed on Community. He does a great Nicolas Cage imitation. So funny.
That I don't know.
I know you love your Community.
I do not like Community. I even went to college where they filmed Community, so which is Los Angeles City College. I went there for 5 years. Another triple feature: The Last Boy Scout, Dead Bang, and Action Jackson.
Nice.
Awesome, especially Last Boy Scout action movies.
I like Last Boy Scout.
I think it's great.
I remember I told Danielle Harris that was my favorite performance of hers, when she was, because she said that was hers too, because she had such a fun time working on that film as a kid, so
yeah, and it's written by Shane Black, so directed by Tony Scott.
Yeah,
actually, all of these have good directors on them: Tony Scott, John Frankenheimer, and Craig R. Baxley. So
I don't know who Craig R. Baxley is, but all right.
Well, he did Action Jackson. He also did like Storm of the Century, the Stephen King.
Okay.
He's done a bunch of stuff. He's like a known action guy. And speaking of known action guys, I almost thought, did I do this one in the past? because there's been so many Dollar Tree ones with this guy doing like multiple collections. And I thought, no, I haven't. I haven't done this one. I've done other ones. And that is the 8-movie collection, Steven Seagal. Oh,
Nice.
oh, yes. With movies you've definitely heard of: Black Dawn, Out of Reach, Flight of Fury, Shadow Man, The Foreigner, Today You Die, Out for a Kill, and Urban Justice. All very well-known movies.
Never
I
heard
think
of
I
it.
think there was one that Out of Reach that I've seen the poster of it or something, you know. I think it's just him holding a gun, you know.
They should just call this Steven
like he is
Seagal
right
needs a
there.
condo.
Right,
thing.
yeah. Like, but it's like it was it had some kind of colorful background or something, and then him holding a gun. That's what I remember it
Oh,
being.
here's those are actually all the posters right there.
They should
Ah,
call that
that's-
collection the Steven Seagal needs a
Okay, maybe
condo
it's not.
payment collection.
Yeah,
Well, the only
he's-
one I remember is The Foreigner, because I think this was one of his, if not the first one that went direct to D. And it was like, oh, there it is. He
Yep,
went to
that's when he's gonna
DVD
be
now.
direct to DVD.
And since then, that's all he's done. So, but
Yeah.
this one has like 2 movies per disc or something on it. So, but hey, still Steven Seagal. But okay, there we go. That's all my 10. That's everything I have.
All right,
right.
now it is Paul's turn.
All right, so first group is going to be some good stuff that was filling my collection. I'm a big, huge, massive fan of The Wire, but I didn't own all the seasons until now. So I ended up picking up seasons that I didn't have. Now, second season of The Wire I actually had, except I didn't realize until I was going through it that the last disc was gone. So I didn't actually have the last, so I had to buy the whole damn thing all over again, because how could you watch the series and not have the last 3 episodes? It just drove me
Right.
nuts. So that's season 1 or season 2 rather, and then the 2 that I was missing was season 3 and season 5.
Nice.
So now I
My,
have all of them.
An ex-girlfriend of mine who I call the evil one, that's what she did for a living. She was a Spanish to English translator, and we would watch
Wow.
that show because that's what she did for a living.
Great show.
So she wanted to watch what she did for a living?
Yeah, to see, I guess, if it was accurate or something, or just because she did it. Yeah.
See, she could have had her own podcast where she talked about if if it was real, and
It's stuff that you can't really talk about because it's all FBI and.
It's true. Yeah, you can't really say that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to just sort of a mishmash of different things that I've got from different places, starting with a movie called Time Crimes.
I know that. Yeah, I want to see that. I've heard that's good.
So that should be interesting. This is a movie New Image presents, and it's a Killer Rats.
Oh, I saw that one a long time ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've
don't-
seen that too.
Sarah Dowling, Ron Perlman's in it. That's about the only name I recognize.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Wait, did you say Alyssa Dowling?
No, Sarah Dowling.
I don't know Sarah
Wrong
Dowling.
Dowling. Next is another Wild Eye. Evil Everywhere. Everywhere.
Nice. Everywhere.
Well, that's
Isn't
gonna
just
be
somewhere,
that's gonna
it's
be a
everywhere.
misleading title because there's no way they can put evil everywhere.
That's true.
It's just like the never-ending story. It did end,
Well, that's just
They-
because they never made another one.
so it ended.
Next is a couple of stinkers that I got from eBay that the discs actually came as opposed to the last one. This one I've heard is really, really bad, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. Battle Space.
Battle Space.
Battle Space.
No idea. Never heard of that one.
Yep. And then another one that I've heard not so great things about, but not as quite as bad as Battle Space, is one called Lethal Dose.
I know that one. Yeah.
Alright.
I haven't heard of that one.
And then we got 2 that I got from a couple of sales that Mr. Ward clued me in on. And the first one is The Dead Hate the Living.
That's a good one. Yeah, Full Moon. That's a good one.
Full
It's
Moon.
Dave Parker, I think.
Yep. And then finally, one that I think I mentioned to Mr. Moody that I finally came in. Hobo with a Trash Can.
Yeah, you were so excited about that one.
Anthology movie that should be.
You
should be a lot
you
of fun.
usually don't tell me what you get before the haul and everything, but this one you can keep shut, your mouth shut about, which is
With
awesome.
Chris Fluff Llewellyn.
Claire Fluff Llewellyn, I
Claire
think.
Fluff Llewellyn.
Yeah. I like Claire. She's sweet.
So, yep. I do believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, that's 10. That's me.
That was 10? Oh, wow. That went quicker than
That's what she said.
any of the other ones. Jeez.
We all didn't have commentaries on them.
I know.
Well, and then the first 3 were those,
The first 3 were The Wire. So, yeah. So, there you go. All right. So, my last 10 is that the first one's a 5-pack. I think I told John about this as well. So, John may have bought this too or not. I'm not sure. But it's called The Lonely Ones, and it has a 5-pack of movies.
I did not.
You did not? So
I did not buy that one.
So it's got The Lonely Ones, Dire Wolf, which is on like a bunch of them. So I've got like that copy like a million times over. I'm surprised we haven't done that yet, just because it's so, in all of them. But then it's got The Ridge, Another Kind, and Night Drive. And these are all by Echo Bridge. So
I don't know any of those.
yeah, I have
Maybe
not.
I did buy that.
I only know The Lonely Ones because Devaney Pinn is in it, and I've worked with her. And that was like when I first worked with her in 2010. This was like the biggest thing she had done at that time. Now she's blown up and done a lot of other stuff. But yeah, this was the first one. So I've always wanted to have it just because I knew of it. And then when I saw that you could either get it by itself or in a 5-pack, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it in a 5-pack.
5-pack is always better. Yeah.
Yeah, like because maybe those other ones are stinkers, and I may check out some of them tonight just to just to see if maybe some of them could be on Indie Film Cafe at some point, or something else. Next, what?
Devaney Pinhead.
All right, next is Blood Fight, and that is with Bolo Young, I think. Yeah, starring Bolo Young. And,
I know him, but I don't know that.
Yeah, apparently it's an event. It's a blood fight, fight to the death. It's probably like
Hence the title.
It's kind of like, I feel like it's blood sport, type thing. Underground fighting.
Could be about pancakes.
It could be.
Could be. I mean, almost anything could be about anything, I guess. Now another thing. This is another movie that has sort of a pretty good cast in it. It's got Jerry O'Connell, Bridget Wilson, Alyssa Milano, Ryan Reynolds, and Annabeth Gish in a movie called Buying the Cow.
No.
I know of it.
So
I've not seen it.
Well, love the title. I don't know if he loved the movie or not, but he loved the title.
Although I do love me some Annabeth Gish.
Yeah. It's kind of great cast. And I love Bridget Wilson. I've always had a thing for her since like Billy Madison. So and Mortal Kombat. She's in those. So yeah. And then
Mortal Kombat.
Next is an interesting thing. So I found this online and I was like, I've been having it. This has been kind of, like for a while it was supposed to be in December's, haul. And then it just kept getting to the next one, getting pushed. And I was like, you know what? I can't push. I was going to push it again. And I was like, if I push it again, I'm just get rid of it, let people see it.
Real good, dude.
And the reason it was supposed to be in December is because it's a snowman movie and it's called Choose Your Own Adventure, Abominable Snowman.
Oh,
and it's stars the voices of Willem H. Macy and Frankie Muniz. And it's a cartoon. And it's a Choose Your Own Adventure cartoon. So I guess you can, I haven't played it yet or anything.
We should make Just Jen watch that. She hates kids' movies.
Why would you want to torture people? Like, that's so mean. But it's also got the kid from Spy Kids and a bunch of other things. So, bunch of other people. So this next one is Jeff Bridges and Maggie Gyllenhaal. And it's
Ooh, I like me some Mallie Gyllenhaal.
and it's I guess it's about a country singer. Bad Blake, a boozy, broken down singer. I guess, yeah, but it's not like based on a true story. I don't believe.
That's a great film.
Yeah, it's called Crazy Heart.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Jeff Bridges. Yeah. I've seen it a couple times. It's actually really good. It's got a great soundtrack.
I forgot where I found this. I bet you know what? I found this at a Restore a while back, and I was like, well, hey, I love Maggie Gyllenhaal as much as Paul loves Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I like Jeff Bridges. He's such a great, phenomenal actor.
The opening scene of that. Speaking of opening scenes, again, is he parks a truck and he gets out and pours out an entire jug of piss, and because he's been driving, so he just keeps pissing in the jug. That tells you what type of film this is going to be. Yeah, so it's like one of those like big 2-liter like milk containers. It's a great movie. It's really good.
Well,
on over and I dumped out my piss jug.
Yeah, I think Colin Farrell's in it too.
Oh, nice. Well, it looks like it might be fun, an enjoyable movie. And if John says it's a great movie, I'll definitely have to check it out. And then speaking of not great movies, this is a Asylum film. I think are both these Asylum? Maybe not. Maybe not for the next one, but this one is definitely. It's called Halloween Night, and it's.
I know of it, yeah, but never seen it. That's an old one from them.
Yeah, it's 2005, 2006, and I love it because 2006 was the year that I got into the Asylum, and these are the movies that I love, like Beast of Bray Road and all of that stuff. And I started interviewing all the actors and directors back then, and so they
lost an opportunity because they could have made it Halloween Night with a K, where it's a guy in a suit of armor, but he's got a pumpkin instead of a helmet, running around killing people.
Make that. That sounds fun. You can still do that, Let's see. I know it had so a couple people from the normal days of these flicks and stuff. It's fun. It's just a fun little movie. Then next is Jack-O-Lantern, which I thought was Asylum, but I don't think it is.
I know that one.
It looks fun and not very doesn't take itself too seriously, it doesn't seem. So
got a nice little Halloween theme going on there.
Yeah, I think originally these are going to be in October, but I didn't want to wait because I have so much other stuff, anyway. So I'm like, let me just get them done. So I didn't want to have to wait till October to share them.
I hear you.
So next is speaking of Hearts, this is another Hearts starring John Travolta, James Gandolfini, Jared Leto, and Salma Hayek, and it's Lonely Hearts. It looks like it's set in the 1930s, like gangster type, thing. It's based on a true story of Raymond Fernandez and Martha Beck, who are two psychopaths with a passion for hot-blooded sex and cold-blooded murder. So I don't know. Sounds kind of fun. So
pancakes.
Can't go wrong with Jared Leto and John Travolta, can you? I said that on purpose. Another movie that has a pretty big cast. So I guess the same person who did was it the 10 Tiny Love Stories wrote and directed this film starring Glenn Close, Cameron Diaz, Callista Flockhart, Kathy Baker, Amy Brenneman, and Holly Hunter. And it's called 10 Things You Can Tell Just by Looking at Her. So I think I got it because
it sounds like a period piece.
Yep.
That's raunchy.
By the way,
Callista Flockhart was in a movie. Wow.
Yeah, she's usually
I
in the
saw
TV.
that at the Sundance Film Festival in 2000, and the director was there, and it was weird. I don't know if they fixed it for DVD, but for some reason the director shot it at like this type of aspect ratio,
Oh,
and everybody was cut off.
oh,
And
I guarantee you the DVD got fixed.
yeah,
It's,
I mean, it's somebody in the audience asked him like, why did you choose to shoot it that way? Because you're like, you cropped off like most of the person. And he goes, oh, it was in a like an artistic decision.
well, it does
That's
come
bad
with
artistic, you know.
I think it's autistic, really.
it comes with the standard or the 16:9 widescreen 1.85:1 ratio. So maybe it was an accident when they put it out, but like, yeah.
Well, and it also could have been that what they were projecting from is that the projector was closed.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was, I mean, they could have started it, stopped it, and had them, or just, I don't know if you could do it while the film's going, but then you just pull that up, you know, and then, or they just adjust it.
I blame all the drugses.
The drugs is correct. Yes. I blame the drugs too.
All right. So my last one is a movie starring Gabriel Byrne, Emily Watson, Julie Walters, Nicholas Hoult, and Miranda Richardson movie. And it's directed by a guy named Richard E. Grant. I think he's the one who did, if I'm correct, he's the one who did Love Actually and stuff like that, if I'm correct.
I think so. Yeah.
But he did a movie called Wawa.
Hmm.
Wawa, or whatever you want to
Not
say.
not the convenience store. That I
Not
love
the convenience store, Wawa, but Wawa.
God, there should be a Wawa movie.
Why? What would that be about?
Because I love it so much.
I know it's a great store.
Paul loves his Wawa.
Yeah, that should be the title, or at least a bumper sticker. Paul loves his Wawa.
Damn straight.
You would have that on your car, I'm sure.
Honk if you love Paul's Wawa.
Yeah, and he just wants to be sponsored by Wawa so he can get free.
Hell yeah.
Get free snacks.
Nom 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 nom. nom.
All right. Do you have Wawa out there? You don't have Wawa out there.
No,
I have no idea what Wawa is. No.
Yeah, I remember
Savages.
my friend Sam Samantha Marie came to Supernatural Assassins, came out, and I said we're gonna have to stop at Wawa. She goes, Wawa what? I'm like what?
I tell you what you do have, Mr. Ward. You do have a Capriati's out there, because that is a great sandwich cheesesteak place back from Delaware, and it was always the big fight over there was who was better, Casapullers or Capriati's. I like them both. Capriati's has the wonderful turkey sandwich, the Gobbler. You need to go there, but they have one in at least one in Las Vegas, and if you've never gone, you need to find it, my friend.
Oh, I have gone. Okay, I think they're in California too. So I have gone. There was at one point where I was kind of hitting all the places just for the fun of it, just to see which one I liked best.
Did you get the Gobbler?
I don't, because that's the one that has like
turkey,
cranberries,
stuffing, mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So it's like a Thanksgiving.
All in a big giant roll. It's freaking amazing.
I'm going to say no. I probably got something more like an Italian thing, or like a regular sub thing. But knowing that, if I do go there again, I will get that, because that's
good cheesesteaks too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess next time we're in Las Vegas, Paul, we need to go stop there, because you didn't tell me about that, and we
we didn't have time.
Well, yeah, we only have 2 days, and you think, oh my God, 2 days, but really 2 days is not a lot. I mean, we didn't really have time to go wandering around too much.
Although we did find that one Filipino buffet, that was really good.
That was nice. Yeah, that place was good. I was happy with what we did there.
That's my favorite thing about Vegas, is that there is so many great places to eat over there.
And what happens in Vegas stays there too. So there you go. If you eat something there, it stays there.
Yeah, most of the things I ate ended up staying.
All right, so I guess that's it. That about wraps it up for this episode. Thank you, John, for coming out. And join us also later.
Thank you. Thank you.
There'll be a quick update that Paul and I will be doing. But
And thank you, Paul.
yes,
Thank you.
You're both very welcome.
yes, you're both
Because
very, very
Paul
welcome.
is my pap.
Woohoo!
You're Pappy?
My PAP.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Join us next month for a new haul video, and it should be fun. So until then, everybody,
All right.
bye.
Bye.